What's up, everybody? It's your boy Ayo Punk, and we are coming with even more of the worst wrestling themes of all time. We are going to be checking this out. This is from Wrestling with Regrets. Please go ahead and hop on over to the top link. That's going to be their link to their YouTube channel. Go ahead and subscribe, like the video, come back over to my video, like and subscribe to my channel as well. We are going to get right into the content.
In pro wrestling, presentation is everything.
Yep,
History shows time and again that the
that
way
is
a
true.
wrestler looks or carries themselves is way more important than things like actual in-ring ability. And in my opinion, the most important part of that presentation, the entrance music. A
Yeah.
wrestler's theme song is literally the first thing a new audience member will learn about them. In just those first few seconds, a good theme can drum up all sorts of emotions: joy, anger, excitement, disgust, anxiety,
Ooh, I
and
love that
relief, to name
entrance
a
from
few.
Sean.
Ever since it became the norm to come out to music, many of wrestling's biggest names have had catchy and memorable themes to help build their legend.
That is
On
true.
the flip side, having a bad entrance theme could sink a wrestler's potential faster than anything. I mean, look at the
So
Red
true.
Rooster, for instance. You see the name, the hair, the walk. It's bad, but I don't know, maybe it's
Like, I don't know what you can do to make a gimmick look good with the name Red Rooster. You acting like a rooster. I don't see anything good coming from it. Even if you have a good theme, I don't think you're coming back from that, to be honest. That package is just garbage, straight up garbage.
salvageable. But then you hear that music, the rooster call, the cheesy synth, the little whip sound effects. Who even in 1991 could get excited for
Wait, they
that?
made
And
a
look at Rob
theme with
Conway,
a
one of
rooster
the
as
brightest
well?
stars OVW had alongside guys like Cena, Lesnar, and Orton. A
Bruh,
real
yup.
solid talent. And the best WWE could come up with for him was,
Just look at me.
ugh.
Oh, I remember that gimmick. Oh yeah, I remember it. It's a theme song too. The theme song was more so like a porno theme than a wrestling theme. It was really weird. It was
Point is, for
cringe.
as many great themes there are that resonate in our heads to this day, there are still a lot of bad ones that can linger. And this week, 10 years to the day I put out the last one, I'm going to rank them again. My list of 8 more of the worst wrestling themes of all time. Be sure to subscribe to
do
Wrestling with
this.
Regret to get more stuff like this.
I'm
Let's
ready.
begin. Number 8. For all intents and purposes, Ric Flair has one and only one entrance theme. That iconic orchestral classic, also Sprach Zufthansa. You know
What?
what I'm talking about. Anyway,
I guess.
that is not a song that needs changing. Pretty much anyone can use it freely, but leave it to the WWF to make something their own just to ruin it.
What did they do?
It's so off-putting for how unlike the original it sounded when Flair first came to the Federation in 1991. Like someone
mean,
heard
it's
Flair's
not
original
that
theme
bad,
one
but it's
time,
not good
waited
either.
a month, then tried to replay it from memory on a Casio keyboard. It's bad enough they had to blur out the WCW title when the Nature Boy first showed up. This song feels like the auditory equivalent of blurring out Alpo Sprocket Zulafrusta, or whatever it's called. They could try to Jimmy Hart it up all they want, but Flair's original theme is just too cool to mess with. In trying to put their own spin on it, the WWF just made it sound Bush League.
I mean, to be fair, WWF, WWE, they always want to have something of their own. They want to be able to control it. So they will always recreate a theme of a wrestler who came from another industry. So they always would change it. They will change their name, they change the gimmick, they'll change the theme, and they all want it to be trademarked under WWE. Sometimes there are very little times where WWE will let the wrestler do what they want if they're big enough, but it's rare.
Number 7. 10 years ago, I suggested that Ass Man was one of the worst wrestling themes of all time. But in the decades since, I realized just how wrong I was.
Ass Man, it
Obviously,
was,
I should have included this Billy Gunn theme instead.
Which one?
After
I
his
don't think I
disastrous
remember this.
solo push in 1999 and his time off due to injury in early 2000, Gunn needed a fresh start upon returning, and his theme was a big part of that rebrand. Now the One Billy Gunn, his act was no longer about how much he loved butts, but how much he loved himself.
Look at all I've got.
Oh my god.
Like to make a blind man see.
Holy hell, why does this sound like a sitcom thing? Like you're watching Full House. What in the world? That doesn't seem right at all.
Everything you wish you
What
had,
in the hell?
but God gave it all to me.
Wow, what a baby face.
On occasion, my reflection puts it in me and all. 'Cause I got it all.
I've
Sounds
got
like
it
they
all.
used the same vocalist from Ass Man, so I appreciate the continuity there. That guy is just part of the gimmick now.
Oh, he
But
is
in
the
terms
same
of
guy?
Subject matter and melody, it's pretty meh.
Yeah, true it is. It's not the best.
Emotion, and let your enemy fall. 'Cause I got it all.
Oh, is that what he says there? I could have swore it was something else.
And let your enemy fall.
Something incorrigible.
And let your enemy fall.
I'm a dirigible. And to top it all off, the arrangement
I don't
sounds
hear
like
it.
the most sitcom opening ass theme I'd heard on WWF TV since Beaver Cleavage. The day I saw someone line it up with the opening
That's what I
credits of
just
Step by
said.
Step, it was like a revelation.
That's what I
Number
just said.
6.
It was like a sitcom.
What's one of the best ways to telegraph that a babyface wrestler has turned heel, or that a heel wrestler has suddenly turned more heel? By slowing down their previously
Yep.
established entrance theme.
True.
It worked for guys like Eddie Guerrero, The
True.
Rock,
True.
Undashing Cody Rhodes,
True.
Jimmy Uso,
Yup.
but not so much for this guy.
Whoa.
When Steve
When did Stone Cold have that thing? I don't think I even remember him having that. I remember the Disturbed thing during the Alliance days, where they had the vocals back in it. But I don't remember this one. What in the world?
Austin turned heel at WrestleMania 17, it bummed out a lot of people. But hey, at least he got to keep that sweet Disturbed theme. Then
That's
came
the
the
one I
Invasion
remember.
storyline and his second heel turn when he joined the Alliance. Now, for most of that run, about SummerSlam 2001 onward, Stone Cold had a pretty sweet heel theme that was unique enough and catchy enough to stand out on its own. But for the first couple of weeks of this period, he came out to this slow slog of a cover. Austin's old theme is ass-kicking
It
energy
doesn't sound
personified,
good
so
at
I can
all.
understand why they wanted to do that hard pivot. The song is meant to suck. You're supposed to hate him for that. But even more than him joining the Alliance, I would be so bold as to guess that this is what turned so many fans off of the WWF at the time. Why else do
Yeah.
you think they shit-canned the song after a fortnight? Number 5.
That wasn't that good.
When deciding on a theme, you have to take into consideration the tune, the vibes, the overall...
What the hell?
Anyway, you don't want to venture too far into meme territory because after some time has passed and the
What the hell? Is this really a theme? Who the hell came out with that? This is da 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 bloopies da 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 bloopy. Like what? I would have been like, yo, rip up my contract. I'm done. I'm not wrestling until you give me a new gimmick. Like what? What the hell?
context is forgotten. God, I hate this song. Number 4. In ECW, Rob Van Dam came out to Walk by Pantera. In WWE, he came out to One of a Kind by Breaking Point. Both those songs kicked all kinds of ass and were fun to sing and hum along to. In terms of themes, RVD was 2 for 2, until he crossed the line.
What's that? Oh yeah, I remember this. Though, to be fair, this theme kind of does grow on you the more you listen to it. And then it was like, you know what? It is not that bad. They even did a video to it as well to incorporate it with the theme. So it wasn't that bad once you got used to it. But at the first time listening, You are just like, what in the world is this theme? Why did they do this? Why did they create this? And why did they do this to my man RVD?
Now, most TNA themes around this time had lyrics that were fairly biographical. They told you who the
Oh,
wrestler
fucking
was,
show.
where they were from, their likes and dislikes, that sort of thing. But
Damnator.
not for Mr. Van Dam.
The
Along with
Van
one of the most ear-splitting
Assassinator.
guitar riffs you'll ever hear, the lyrics are embarrassingly basic. It's literally name, nickname, repeat, then they just list off some of his moves.
Yeah,
Which
yup.
could have worked had they not run out after 2.
Yup. Van the Terminator. Van Crashinator. Van Assassinator.
Maybe it was just wishful thinking that he would come up with a couple of more moves while he was there, and they had some names at the ready.
Go fly high. 5-star frost flash.
I can't get over how annoyingly simple this song is. Sometimes less is more, but this did Mr.
Oh,
Monday
man.
Night a huge
I'm telling
disservice.
you, this
I don't
song
want to
was
resort
good
to a hack
after
joke
a
and ask, I
while.
wonder what the
You
band
just
was
got
smoking
used
when
to
they
it.
came up for this, but I mean, it's right there.
A chair shot right to your brain. Straight to your skull crack.
The only way I'd get over this song is if Van Dam got back in the ring and
Oh.
finally busted out that mythical Van Assassinator. And speaking
Oh
of annoying
my
TNA
God.
themes, number 3.
Number 3.
I'm glad that Jeff Jarrett has been around long enough for fans to finally come around to him and begin to appreciate his contributions to the wrestling business. Because up until a few years ago, his public perception was overwhelmingly negative for a lot of reasons, this song being one of them. Night after night,
Oh my
week after
God,
week,
that
year
fucking
after
siren
year,
in the
loyal
beginning of
TNA
this
fans were
is
forced to endure
fucking
at
air
least a double
piston.
dose of Bree Woo, as Jarrett's reign of terror over Impact Wrestling had put Triple H's in WWE to shame. When this song played, you knew you were in for at least 2 levels of bullshit. Let's talk about those lyrics. The first thing we hear is what sounds like a dying old man letting out one last cackle before leaving his mortal coil. Then we
It's
get
the
into the
siren
verses.
that
It's
makes
his
it
world,
awful.
he's the king, and so on. Then
He ain't dead, he ain't the rock.
He ain't dead, he ain't the rock. No shit, Sherlock, you ain't the rock. Holy hell.
that's right, folks. Jeff Jarrett is definitely not The Rock.
Nope.
They felt the need to
He's
remind
not.
you that Jarrett is
Not
in
at all.
no way, shape, or form like one of the biggest crossover stars the industry has ever seen. Just in case you hadn't figured that out yourself. At some point, someone must have gotten in his ear and said, hey, maybe this comparison is a bit much. So they went ahead and changed it ever so slightly. Well, he's not
What?
dead. He's not.
Why did they change it to that? He ain't dead, he ain't Jack. Like, whoa, 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 he ain't Jack. Like, what?
Not The Rock, and he's not Jack either. So that really narrows it down.
I get high, low the pain. Welcome to the Who's Insane.
What? It's my belief that Jeff Jarrett's incomprehensible dominance over TNA is one of the many factors as to why the company had such a hard time building a consistent fan base since the inception. Again, I'm glad he's getting a victory
I
lap.
mean, they kind of had a decent fan base, and I think once Hulk Hogan got a hold of it, it kind of ruined the fan base there. And then once whoever is in charge now got a hold of it, they now partner up with WWE and doing great things for TNA, and they're kind of coming back with their audience.
in AEW. But let us never forget what The Last Outlaw and his very, very bad theme song did to the business in the before time. Number 2. You know, sometimes I wonder, did Brutus Beefcake know that he was within his rights to say no to an idea once in a while?
Bruh, I said the other one sounded like a porn theme. This one sounds like the entrance music, like the intro music to a porno. Like, what? This one sounds like even more than
Poor
the
Ed
other
Leslie
one.
went through so many gimmick changes in his career, it's kind of amazing he turned out as well balanced as he did. Things got really out of hand during his time in WCW when his character changed an average of 2 or 3 times a year. After playing the Zodiac in the Dungeon of Doom, Brother Brutai made the natural progression into becoming the Booty Man, a guy who was in love with his own ass. Obviously something Billy Gunn would nick just a few years later.
Yeah. I mean, most gimmicks nowadays have a form of inspiration of older gimmicks, older superstars. Well, not superstars, but other wrestlers. They kind of take inspiration from those wrestlers and they use it in their gimmick. They switch it up just a little.
It just keeps going on like this. Does anyone get pumped up and ready for a wrestling match when they hear this song? Do the fans?
No,
Does the
I
Booty
get ready
Man?
for a porno
It's hard to
scene to
believe that a
happen.
gimmick as deeply layered and nuanced as this didn't last long. By the end of '96, the Booty Man was sent to the ass bin, a trash bin of wrestling history, and this terrible theme song along with it. Before I play you the worst of the worst, here are a few dishonorable mentions. The Reba Giggle.
Wait, what?
I'm cheating a little here because I don't believe
Wait, did AEW really give a theme of that nature? Just laughing in the song like like what? Nah, Tony, you got some explaining to do with that. You got some explaining to do.
this remixed song, which was released as part of a themes album, was ever officially used. But
Oh,
after
it wasn't
some viewers
used,
brought
okay.
this to my attention, well, how could I resist?
That is horrible. I'm so glad they did use it.
I have a love-hate relationship with it. What can I say? Michael Hayes' theme from Legends of WrestleMania.
This
Look,
is
Bad
another
Street
sitcom
USA
kind of
is
song.
hands down one of the best wrestling themes of all time. And you would think that Michael Hayes, a WWE lifer, would have been glad to let THQ use the song in the Legends of WrestleMania video game from 2009. But I guess he didn't. And this is what they came up with instead.
They probably said, you know what? You ain't licensing your theme to us? We are gonna give you the shittiest theme ever. You're gonna want to license that theme to us. We're gonna make it happen one way or another. And they came up with that so they can then go, damn, I should have gave them my theme. Let me go do that so they can take this horrible theme out of the game. That's what they probably was thinking. Probably why they did that. And they probably got the theme after that. Most likely.
Free bird running wild and free. What the hell is that?
Freebirds on to mess with, we'll always get our way. And if you try and stop us, you'll be going down today.
Oh
Fans
my
have long
god.
theorized that The Undertaker himself voiced the raps in this song, but I don't think the dead man would debase himself over a cameo like this. Hayes barely qualifies to be in this game in the first place, considering his only Mania appearance came in the Gimmick Battle Royal in 2001. But if they couldn't even get the rights to the coolest thing about him, then why even bother? Yes, I only added this song so I'd finally have the chance to complain about it. The noise themes. You know the ones I'm talking about. Right to
Oh,
Censor,
Right to Censor,
T.L.
yup.
Hopper, Isaac Yankem DDS, Diesel's first theme, Don Callis' Brown Noise. all
Diesel's
of them.
first theme was
Songs
just like a
specifically
train or
designed to
something?
annoy the fans, to scratch at your eardrums and pierce all the way into your brain. Just because a song
Warning.
is successful at garnering heat doesn't mean that they are actually good. I know that I listed RTC's theme in the original countdown,
man.
but it's worth reinducting just to give these other ones a moment to shine. Def Rebel. Just Def Rebel.
Damn,
For
the
last
whole
5
band?
years, WWE themes have been
God
almost
damn.
exclusively produced by Def Rebel, a band out of New York. After years of outcry from the fans over how bland their work was, the lads were released by the company at the end of 2024. Now, I'm rarely one to celebrate someone's firing, but I think it was high time that these
But
two
now they're
parties
just
moved
using
on from each
generic
other.
music
If you're
too.
wondering why the last few Royal Rumble
Like, I would be happy that they released them to get better music, but now they're just using generic music. Look what happened to Finn Balor when he came out to the Royal Rumble. What was that thing that he came out to? He didn't get no kind of pop whatsoever because they didn't know who the fuck it was because of the thing. And then on Raw, the next week, he comes out to his original theme that they made for him, and he got a huge ass pop. You see what the difference is when changing people's themes around like that? You either make or break the character depending on the theme, as they've been saying through this whole video. It's a full package kind of deal. If one thing doesn't work, everything doesn't work. It throws everything off.
Rumbles have had plenty of moments like this. All right, let's go. 3, 2, 1.
Yup. Exactly. Exactly what I said just a minute ago about Finn Balor. As soon as he came out in the Royal Rumble, people was like, wait, whose theme is this? What? And it's Finn Balor? You're like, oh my god. You just ruined them. Move on to the next one.
Well, you've got these guys to thank. From 2019 to 2024,
Oh,
Def
man.
Rebel set a new standard for musical mediocrity in the world of sports entertainment. The gang utilized a very predictable formula. It was catchphrase, then some of the most generic, uninspired music you could
Yep.
think of. It all just kind of sounds the same. Remember the good old days when Jimmy's, Hart, and Johnston made the kind of themes that could stand the test of time, that were distinct enough that you could immediately tell who it was without having a voice to remind you at the start? I'm honestly hard-pressed to think of one amazing theme they'd come up with in the last 5 years. I also can't think of any truly shitty songs they've done either, which I suppose is also indicative of how similar their work is. And now that the company is free from Def Rebel's grasp, I believe it will only be a matter of time before our ears can finally heal. And my pick for the #1 worst wrestling theme of all time this time around is...
What was it?
As I alluded to earlier in this video, I was suggested a good number of these themes by my fans on social media. And I don't usually like to let public opinion sway the way I rank these videos, but one listen to this song and, well, I gotta admit, you regretters had it pegged. No. TNA. That is not the version I am talking about. I mean, the Arabian music is a little on the nose here.
Is it
but
the
no,
one with the plane
I'm talking
in it?
about the original version of this theme. The one you guys used for a very brief period of time, then stopped for very painfully obvious reasons.
Oh, yeah.
That version.
That one. Yup.
Ladies and gentlemen.
That is,
That's it. What more can I say?
That's a
So,
face
what other
palm.
terrible themes did I miss out on after 10 years? Drop a few bars in the comments section, and, well, maybe I'll talk about them in 2035. Thanks.
All right, everybody, go ahead and subscribe. WVid, good vid on Wrestling Regret. Go check out his content. Link down below.